I'm Aline. I'm a licensed OT and an aspiring animal-assisted therapist. So in today's video, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about why I chose OT as the profession through which to eventually practice animal-assisted therapy. So let's start all the way in the beginning. So I've always been an animal lover. From the time I was little, I was convinced that my path in life was to be a veterinarian, and I worked hard to make that my reality. Fast forward to my university years. After working as a veterinary assistant during summers off, it became clear to me that veterinary medicine was just not for me. Reasons why for this could be a whole other video, but for now, let's just move on. After realizing that being a vet was not for me, I was a little lost for a while. I had spent so much time and effort and really identity into preparing for this career that when faced with the reality that it wasn't for me, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so began a search of what else could I do that involves animals, but I also wanted to work with people and help people and, enter an identity crisis, and it was fun times, let me tell you. And it really wasn't until I met a physical therapist that was doing pet therapy with her dog at a local nursing home near my university that something started to click for me. I looked more into it, and that's how I discovered animal-assisted therapy. I just loved the idea of being able to help people and get to do that with an animal by my side. It seemed like it was tailor-made for me and exactly the sort of thing that I would be interested in. And so began my search for healthcare jobs that would pair well with animal-assisted therapy. And it was through that search that I found occupational therapy, or OT. Now, OT is a super broad and super diverse profession, and so that can make it kind of hard to describe sometimes. We work with people across the lifespan, which means that we can work with anyone from infants to the elderly to everybody in between. To add to that, you can also find OTs working in a variety of different settings. You can find us in schools, you can find us in hospitals, you can find us in psychiatric hospitals, you can find us in outpatient clinics, inpatient clinics, you can find us pretty much anywhere. So all of this combined, again, can make it kind of tough to describe. I went ahead and looked us up on Google because I was curious how Google would answer this. And they describe OT as a form of therapy for those recuperating from physical or mental illness that encourages rehabilitation through the performance of activities required in daily life. It's kind of a mouthful, kind of confusing, and I'm saying that as an OT. I actually describe OT as a healthcare profession where we help people who are living with a disability or who maybe are recovering from an injury, and we help them regain their independence and to participate in the activities and the things that matter to them. We don't usually think about our day-to-day activities as important. Things like brushing your teeth, getting dressed by yourself in the morning, making yourself your morning tea or coffee, cooking for yourself, cooking for your friends. All of these things are things that we tend to take for granted. It's those everyday activities that OTs help people get back to. So let's throw out some examples here. Let's say that you had a stroke and you have lost the ability to move or use half of your body. So I, as an OT, I would be coming in and I would help you relearn how to dress yourself, how to brush your teeth, how to participate in your favorite hobbies again. I would help you get back to doing the things that you love and that are meaningful to you. Not only that, I would help you get back to doing these things as independently as possible so that you can regain that autonomy and the sense of dignity that comes with that. Let's give another example. Let's say that you have a child that is on the spectrum, a child that is completely overwhelmed by the world that they were born into. They are so overwhelmed, in fact, that they struggle to participate in activities that other kids seem to do naturally. And so, again, this is where I would come in. I would help that child, give them the tools necessary to be able to better process the world around them so that they too can participate in those activities that are so crucial to childhood development. This is why I love OT. OT is a profession that combines creativity and evidence-based practice into one big, beautiful, holistic method. We look at the whole person. We don't compartmentalize care to just symptoms. It's the entirety of who that person is and what they participate in that's important to us. The very things, the occupations that are important to you are the very same things that help you heal and learn. Okay, so let's get back to when I was first learning about OT in university. The more I read about it, the more convinced I became that this was the profession that I wanted to do animal-assisted therapy with. But what sealed the deal for me was when I told my mom I was thinking of doing OT. She actually told me that I had had OT as a kid at some point. Who knew? And I should probably mention here, around age 7, I was actually diagnosed with ADHD, sensory processing dysfunction, and a whole host of other learning disabilities that made my childhood and life in general pretty tough. It was rough there for a while. But as my mom explained, without that OT, I would not have the tools and the resources and coping mechanisms that I use to this day to help me live my life to the fullest of my potential. So the thought that I could be that therapist for someone, that I could equip someone else with the tools to help them not just survive but thrive in life, that is why I chose OT. I wanted to have the skill set to make a tangible difference in someone's life. And if I could do that with an animal by my side, the future had never looked brighter. I'm not an animal-assisted therapist yet, but I have the pleasure, in the meantime, of making a difference in people's lives. And even though I don't yet have an animal by my side, and I don't know when that will fully happen, I can rest in the knowledge that what I'm doing is meaningful and it's making a difference, a positive difference out in the world. And that's worth it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And hey, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I so enjoyed reading your comments on the last video. And yeah, if you have any questions, please put them there and I will get to them. I've also added some links in the description so that if you want to know a little bit more about OT, you're covered. So yeah, that's it for today. Until next time, and have an amazing rest of your week. Where we help people who are living with a disability or who are recovering from an injury, and we help them by helping them. Oh God, it's those everyday activities. Ugh, that doesn't work. That sounds so cheesy. All right. This is so hard. Okay. Is it gonna be okay? I can't look at myself. Awkward. How do people do